The council chamber was the largest room Tae-Yang Kim had ever seen. It stretched up so high that the ceiling disappeared into shadows. Thousands of aliens sat in rows that circled the entire space. Some had tentacles, some had wings, some looked like giant insects. All of them were staring at him. Tae-Yang stood alone in the center of the chamber. His black suit looked plain compared to the colorful robes and armor around him. He carried no weapons. He needed none. The message he brought was weapon enough. High Counselor Vrex then clicked his mandibles together. The sound echoed through the chamber. He was huge, like a praying mantis the size of a car. His green shell reflected the lights above. Human. Vrex then's voice boomed through speakers. You requested this emergency session. Explain yourself quickly. The council has important matters to discuss. Tae-Yang smiled. It was not a friendly smile. Important matters? More important than war? The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens chirped, clicked, and roared. Vrex then raised one blade-like arm for silence. War? What war? There is no war. Not yet, Tae-Yang said. He pressed a button on his wrist device. Holographic screens appeared all around the chamber. Images filled them. Human colony ships blown apart in space. Human children in cages, their eyes empty. Human bodies on laboratory tables cut open for study. For 10 years you have stolen from us. You intercepted our colony ships. You took our people. You used them for experiments. You sold them as slaves, all because you declared us presentient, not smart enough to have rights. A fat alien with purple skin stood up. This is legal. The council voted. Humans are barely civilized. You only discovered faster-than-light travel 5 years ago. Tae-Yang turned to face the speaker. Yes, 5 years ago we had our first FTL ship. Do you know what we did first? We tried to make friends. We sent messages of peace. We offered to share our knowledge. And what did you do? The alien sat down quickly. Tae-Yang continued. You ignored our messages. You sent raiders to our colonies. You decided we were not worth talking to. You were wrong. Vrex then leaned forward. Threaten us all you want, human. You have one planet. One system. Maybe 200 ships. We have 47 species. Thousands of worlds. Millions of ships. Do the math. I have done the math, Tae-Yang said. Behind him, another human stepped forward. Dr. Haewon Park adjusted her glasses and smiled at the council. Hello, counselors. I am Dr. Park. I study alien biology. I also study alien technology. For the past 10 years, while you debated whether humans could think, we were very busy. She waved her hand. New images appeared on the screens. Ship designs, weapons, computer codes. Every time you raided our colonies, we studied the wreckage. Every gift you gave us, we took apart. Every computer system you used, we hacked. We are very good at learning. An alien in the front row stood up. Impossible. Our encryption is unbreakable. Our technology is thousands of years ahead of yours. Dr. Park laughed. It was ahead of ours. Not anymore. You see, you had thousands of years to develop your technology slowly. Carefully, you had no enemies to push you. You grew soft, comfortable. We are different. Tae-Yang walked slowly around the center of the chamber. We come from a death world. Do you know what that means? Our planet tried to kill us every single day. Storms that could destroy cities. Earthquakes, volcanoes, diseases, predators with teeth like knives. We survived all of it. We did not just survive. We conquered our world. When you attacked us, you thought we would break. You thought we would beg for mercy. You forgot something important. We are DEATHWORLDERS. We do not break. We adapt, we overcome, we win. Vrex then stood up to his full height. Enough, this is pointless posturing. We could crush Earth in a week. Guards, remove these humans from the chamber. Nothing happened. The guards did not move. Vrex then looked around in confusion. Guards! Every guard in the chamber suddenly went rigid. Their weapons clattered to the floor. Small lights blinked on their armor. Red lights. Blinking in a pattern, Dr. Park smiled wider. Oh, did I mention? We have been inside your computer systems for 3 years now. Every ship. Every station. Every defense network. We can see everything you see. We can control everything you control. And you never knew. The chamber exploded in panic. Aliens ran for the exits. Others screamed into communication devices. Some just sat frozen in shock. Tae-Yang raised his voice. Quiet. The word echoed through the chamber. Somehow everyone heard it clearly. Everyone stopped. I am not finished. Earth's government has sent me with a message. We no longer recognize the Council's authority over humanity. We no longer accept your laws. We no longer care about your opinions. Every species that voted to classify us as presentient is now considered a valid military target. Every species that profited from human suffering is now our enemy. Every species that stayed silent while we were hunted is now complicit. A small alien in the back shouted, "But that is everyone. Every species in the Council." "Yes," Taeyang said simply. "Now you understand." Rex then found his voice again. "You cannot possibly attack all of us. This is insanity. This is suicide!" "Perhaps. But we would rather die fighting than live as your property. We are giving you one chance, one opportunity to make this right." Dr. Park stepped forward again. "Return every human you have taken. Pay reparations for every ship you destroyed. Prosecute everyone involved in human trafficking and experimentation. Recognize humanity as a full sentient species with all rights. Dissolve all laws that allow exploitation of presentient species. You have 30 days. The chamber was silent now. Every alien stared at the two humans. Taeyang could see the calculations happening behind their eyes. Could humans really threaten the entire council? Could they actually win a war? Then every screen in the chamber came to life. Every personal communication device every counselor carried suddenly activated. A woman appeared on all of them. She wore the uniform of Earth's military. Her face was hard. Her eyes were cold. "Counselors, I am Fleet Commander Bora Lee of Earth's Naval Strategic Command. You are probably wondering how I am speaking to you right now on your private, encrypted devices. You are probably wondering how we broke your security. You are probably wondering if we can do this to all your systems." She leaned closer to the camera. "We can. Your firewalls are open to us. Your military networks are compromised. Your defense grids answer to us. Every computer system you have is ours whenever we want it. You classified us as presentient because we are young. Because we are new to space. You thought young meant weak. You thought new meant stupid. You were wrong on all counts. My fleet is ready. My soldiers are waiting. My hackers are in your systems. We are coming. You have 30 standard days to make reparations and change your laws. If you do, we will leave you in peace. If you do not," she smiled. It was not a nice smile. "If you do not, you will learn what humans do to those who hurt us. You will learn why our planet tried so hard to kill us. You will learn why we call ourselves the dominant species of Earth. You will learn what DEATHWORLDERS truly are." The clock starts now. The screens went dark. Bora Lee disappeared. Taeyang and Dr. Park walked toward the chamber exit. No one tried to stop them. No one spoke. The guards were still frozen, their armor still blinking red. As they reached the door, Taeyang turned back one last time. 30 days, counselors. We suggest you spend them wisely." The door closed behind them. In the chamber, chaos erupted. Aliens shouted at each other. Some demanded immediate war. Some begged for negotiation. Some just sat in shock. Rex then remained standing at his podium. His mandibles clicked slowly. For the first time in his long life, he felt something he had never felt before. Fear. True, deep fear. The humans had been in their systems for 3 years. 3 years. What else had they done in that time? What else had they learned? What weapons had they built? What plans had they made? He looked around at his fellow counselors. They were the most powerful beings in the galaxy. They commanded thousands of worlds. They controlled the fates of billions of creatures. They had ruled for centuries without challenge, and now 2 humans had walked into their chamber and declared war on all of them. Worse, they had done it while controlling the chamber's own security. They had shown that human technology was far more advanced than anyone suspected. Rex then made a decision. He would not negotiate. He would not bow to human demands. He would gather the Council fleet and crush Earth. He would show these primitives the price of threatening the galactic order. It was the worst decision he would ever make. Admiral Crixnell watched the recording again. He had seen it 50 times already, but he still could not believe it. 2 humans had walked into the council chamber and threatened everyone. They had hacked the security systems. They had shown images of council crimes. They had given an ultimatum, and then they had walked out. Unharmed. Unpunished. Ridiculous, Crixnell said to his staff. Absolutely ridiculous. He was Velcron, a species that had conquered 20 worlds before joining the council. His people were warriors. They understood military power. They knew how wars were won, and humans had none of what mattered. No territory, no numbers, no experience, Admiral, one of his officers said carefully. The humans did break our encryption. They did take control of the security systems. Should we not be concerned? Crixinal laughed. It was a deep rumbling sound. Concerned? About what? So they have some clever computer hackers. So what? Wars are not won by hackers. Wars are won by ships, by weapons, by soldiers willing to fight and die. He pulled up a display showing human military strength, 197 combat vessels, 3 major shipyards, 1 fortified homeworld, a handful of colonies. Look at this. The humans have almost nothing. My fleet alone outnumbers them 10 to 1. The entire council fleet. We have millions of ships, billions of soldiers, thousands of years of experience. His officers nodded. It made sense. The numbers were clear. Humans were primitives playing at being warriors. They would learn their mistakes soon enough. In orbit around Earth, things looked very different. Counselor Jiwan Song stood in the command center of Orbital Station 3. Below her, Earth turned slowly. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds. It looked peaceful, beautiful. It was anything but peaceful. Report, she said. A young officer looked up from his console. All civilian ships have been converted. We now have 643 combat-capable vessels, not counting the stealth fleet. The stealth fleet, Jiwan said quietly. Do they know about the stealth fleet? No, Counselor. As far as Council intelligence knows, we have fewer than 200 ships. They have no idea about the additional 400 vessels we have been building in the asteroid belt. Jiwan smiled. Humans were good at keeping secrets. They had learned that skill on Earth, hiding from predators, surviving against odds that would have killed any other species. What about the colonies? Mars is fully armed. Europa has completed its defense grid. The belt colonies are ready. Every mining station has been converted to a weapons platform. Every transport ship now carries missiles. Jiwan nodded. This was not the work of 30 days. This was the work of years. Ever since the first Council raid on a human colony ship, Earth had been preparing, building, planning, waiting. The Council thought humans were stupid. They thought young species could not be dangerous. They were wrong. Far from Earth, in a secret research station, scientist Hyunwoo Choi worked late into the night. To everyone around him, he was a junior researcher studying quantum mechanics. In reality, he was a spy. The Council research station was huge. Thousands of scientists from hundreds of species worked here. They studied advanced weapons, new shield technology, faster engines, better computers. They never suspected that one of their researchers was human. Hyunwoo looked like a trell, a species with smooth gray skin and large eyes. It was a disguise, created by human biotechnology the Council did not know existed. Every night Hyunwoo sent reports to Earth. He told them about Council weapons, about their shield frequencies, about their ship designs, about their military doctrine, and every night he learned something new. The Council military was lazy, comfortable. They had not fought a real war in 800 years. Their tactics were outdated. Their weapons were old. Their soldiers were unprepared. They had forgotten how to truly fight. Humans had never forgotten. Earth had taught them well. Back in the Council chamber, Vrex then called for order. The emergency session had been going for 6 hours. Everyone was shouting. No one was listening. Enough! Vrex then's voice boomed through the speakers. We must decide on a response. Admiral Crixnall has proposed a plan. We will hear it now. Crixnall stood. His armor gleamed in the light. The solution is simple. We send 1 battle group to Earth, 20 capital ships, 100 support vessels, 2,000 fighters. We show them the power of the Council. We force their surrender. Just 1 battle group? A small alien asked. Is that enough? More than enough, Crixnall said. We do not need to destroy Earth. We do not need to kill all the humans. We just need to show them that resistance is pointless. 1 battle group will do that, another counselor spoke up. But they hacked our systems. They threatened all of us. Should we not take this seriously? Crixnall waved a dismissive hand. Computer tricks. Smoke and mirrors. Yes, they are clever with technology, but technology alone does not win wars. Ask any military historian. Superior numbers, superior firepower, superior training. These are what matter, and we have all 3. Vrex then looked around the chamber. Are there any objections to Admiral Crixnell's plan? Silence. Even the species that privately worried about human capabilities said nothing. The numbers were clear. Logic was clear. One battle group was more than enough to handle a primitive species with barely 200 ships. Then it is decided, Vrex then said. Admiral, assemble your battle group. Proceed to Earth. Make the humans surrender. Show them the price of threatening the Council. Crixnell saluted. It will be done, High Counselor. We will be at Earth in 20 days. The Council adjourned. Counselors filed out, relieved. The human problem would be solved soon. Order would be restored. Life would return to normal. None of them noticed the small device attached to the underside of Vrex then's podium. It was no bigger than a coin. It had been there for 2 years. It recorded everything. It transmitted everything. Back on Earth, Defense Minister Daeun Kang listened to the recording. She heard Crixnell's plan. She heard the Council's decision. She heard their confidence. She turned to her staff. They are sending one battle group. Admiral Crixnell will lead it personally. Just one? Her deputy asked. They are not taking us seriously. No, Daeun said. They are not. Which means we have an opportunity. Hyunwoo, what do we know about Crixnell's tactics? The scientist's face appeared on the screen. Everything, Minister. His battle group formations are predictable. He favors overwhelming firepower over maneuverability. His ships are heavily armored but slow. His fighter pilots are trained for parade formations, not actual combat. Perfect, Daeun said. Prepare the trap. When they arrive, we will show them what it means to fight a species from a death world. Minister, someone asked, what if they send more ships? What if this is just the first wave? Daeun looked at Earth through the viewport. Her planet, her home. The world that had tried to kill humanity for millions of years and failed. The world that had made humans tough, smart, adaptable. Then we will destroy the second wave, and the third, and the fourth. We will keep fighting until they understand. We are not prey. We are not primitives. We are humans. We are DEATHWORLDERS. And we do not surrender. She turned back to her staff. Activate all defense platforms. Deploy the stealth fleet. Inform all colonies to prepare for combat. And send a message to Admiral Crixnell. What should the message say? Daeun smiled. It was a cold smile. A predator's smile. Tell him we are waiting. Tell him we are ready. Tell him to bring everything he has. Because he is going to need it. Across human space, the preparations continued. Ships moved into position. Weapons were armed. Soldiers trained. Engineers built. Hackers infiltrated Council systems even deeper. The Council thought this would be easy. They thought humans would see their ships and surrender. They thought wrong. Humans had been preparing for this moment since the first raid. They had planned for every scenario. They had built weapons in secret. They had learned every weakness of every Council species. The Council was about to learn a hard lesson. Never underestimate a species that survived extinction every day of its existence. Never threaten the home of creatures that fought their way to the top of their food chain. Never attack DEATHWORLDERS. The countdown had begun. 20 days until Crixnell arrived at Earth. 20 days until the Council learned what humanity truly was. 20 days until the galaxy changed forever. Captain Dong-Hyun Park floated in the command chair of the Soul's Vengeance. Around him, his crew worked in silence. The ship was dark, cold. Every system was powered down to minimum levels. They had been waiting here for 3 days. The Soul's Vengeance was a stealth carrier. The Council did not know it existed. Their sensors could not detect it. As far as Council intelligence knew, humans did not have the technology to build stealth ships. They were wrong about that too. Captain, the sensor officer whispered, I have them. FTL signatures, lots of them. Dong-Hyun checked his display. 20 capital ships, 100 support vessels, 2,000 fighters. Right on schedule. Admiral Crixnell was nothing if not punctual. Pass the word to the other carriers. Wait for my signal. Dong-Hyun spoke calmly. He had trained for this moment for years. They all had. In the distance, space rippled. The Council battle group dropped out of FTL. Their ships were enormous, beautiful, covered in lights and decorations. They looked more like parade vessels than warships. On the flagship, Admiral Crixnell surveyed the system. His sensors showed nothing. No ships, no defenses, no resistance. The humans ran away, his second officer said with disgust. They are cowards after all. Crixnall frowned. Something felt wrong. The system was too empty, too quiet. Scan again. Full spectrum. I want to know if there is even a piece of debris out here. Yes, Admiral. The officer worked his console. Then he froze. Sir, I am getting strange readings. Thousands of them, ships everywhere. What? Where? Everywhere, sir. Every asteroid is showing as a battleship. Every piece of debris is showing as a missile. The entire system is full of targets. Crixnall rushed to the console. The display was chaos. Red dots everywhere. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands. It was impossible. It is a malfunction. It must be. Reset the sensors, the officer tried. Nothing changed. The red dots remained. Then more appeared. Then more. On the Soul's Vengeance, engineer Young J. Lim smiled. His cyber weapon was working perfectly. Every council ship was now seeing false targets. Their computers were flooded with bad data. Their weapon systems were trying to track thousands of ghosts. Captain, they are taking the bait. The council ships are firing at false targets. Dong Hyun watched as the council fleet opened fire. Energy beams lanced out into empty space. Missiles streaked toward asteroids. Fighters launched to intercept debris. They were wasting ammunition. Wasting fuel. Wasting time. All carriers, launch fighters. Go Squadron, you are clear to engage. Lieutenant Sumin Han heard the order in her cockpit. Finally. She had been waiting in her fighter for 3 days. Her squadron had been waiting with her. 50 of the best pilots humanity had ever produced. Ghost Squadron, form up on me. Remember your training. Fast, aggressive, unpredictable, make them fear us. Her fighter launched from the carrier bay. Around her, the rest of Ghost Squadron emerged from the darkness. Then more squadrons, then more. From 4 different stealth carriers, 2,000 human fighters poured into the system. The council sensors finally detected them, but it was too late. Sumin locked onto a council destroyer. Her targeting computer calculated the best approach. She ignored it. Human pilots did not fly by computer. They flew by instinct. She dove straight at the destroyer at full speed. Council point defense weapons opened fire. She twisted her fighter through the barrage, left, right, up, down, no pattern, no predictability. Just pure reaction. She fired her missiles at point-blank range and pulled away so hard that the G-forces would have killed any council pilot. Her missiles struck the destroyer's engines. The ship shuddered and went dark. Ghost 1 target down, moving to next. Around her, the rest of the squadron was doing the same. Human fighters were everywhere. They did not form neat formations. They did not follow standard attack patterns. They flew like demons, fast, erratic, deadly. Council fighters tried to respond. They launched from their carriers in perfect formation. They moved in coordinated groups. They followed their training exactly, and they died. Human pilots did not fight fair. They attacked from unexpected angles. They used the Council's own ships as cover. They fired and ran and fired again. They took risks that no sane pilot would take, because humans were not sane, not by Council standards. They were DEATHWORLDERS. They had evolved on a planet that killed the weak. Only the crazy, the brave, the reckless survived, and now they brought that madness to space. On the Council flagship, Crixnall watched his fleet fall apart. Ship after ship went dark. Fighter after fighter exploded. His perfect battle group was being torn to pieces. How many human ships? He demanded. Unknown, sir. Our sensors are still compromised. We count at least 2,000 fighters, but no capital ships. Just fighters? Where are their battleships? No one answered. Because no one knew. The human capital ships were still hidden, still invisible, waiting. Dong Hyun watched the battle from his command chair. The Council fleet was in chaos. Perfect. All carriers move in. Target their command ships. Let us end this. 4 stealth carriers materialized from nowhere. They appeared right in the middle of the Council formation. Before the Council could react, they opened fire. Human railguns fired solid projectiles at incredible speeds. No energy signature to detect. No heat to track. Just metal moving at a significant fraction of light speed. The projectiles punched through Council shields like paper. They tore through armor. They shattered ships. Crixnall felt his flagship shudder. Damage report. Multiple hits. Shields down to 30%. Hull breaches on decks 7 through 12. We are venting atmosphere. Another impact. The lights flickered. The gravity failed for a moment. Sir, we have to retreat. We cannot fight this. We do not even know where they are. Crixnall wanted to argue. wanted to fight, wanted to prove that the council was superior. But he was not stupid. This was a slaughter. All ships retreat. Jump to FTL. Get us out of here! The surviving council ships tried to escape. They oriented toward the jump points. They charged their FTL drives, and then the mines went off. Humans had mined the jump points weeks ago. Small, stealthy mines that the council sensors never detected. Now they activated. Hundreds of them. Council ships trying to jump to FTL flew right into the mines. Explosions rippled through the fleet. Some ships made it through. Most did not. Of the 20 capital ships that arrived, only 3 escaped. Of the 100 support vessels, 12 made it out. Of the 2,000 fighters, fewer than 50 survived. The battle had lasted 6 hours. Dong Hyun surveyed the wreckage. Broken ships floated everywhere. Some still had their lights on. Some were transmitting distress signals. He could save them. He could take prisoners. He decided not to. Let them go. Let them send their distress signals. Let the council come to rescue them. Let the council see what humanity did to those who attacked them. Open a channel. All frequencies. I want every council ship in this system to hear this. The channel opened. Dong Hyun spoke clearly, calmly. Council forces, this is Captain Dong Hyun Park of the Earth Defense Fleet. You came here to force our surrender. You came here to show us your power. You came here to teach us our place. Instead, you have learned something about humanity. We do not surrender. We do not bow. We do not break. We are DEATHWORLDERS. We are survivors. We are warriors. You sent 200 ships. We destroyed most of them. We let a few escape. Do you know why? So they can carry a message back to your council. So they can tell your leaders what happened here. Tell them this was us being merciful. Tell them this was us showing restraint. Tell them we could have killed everyone, but we chose not to. The next time will be different. The next time there will be no survivors. The next time we will not fight in empty space. We will fight at your homeworlds. We will fight at your stations. We will fight until you understand what you have done. You wanted to see if DEATHWORLDERS could fight. Now you know. We can, and we will. You have 20 days remaining. Use them wisely. The channel closed. Dong Hyun turned to his crew. They looked tired, scared, proud. Good work, everyone. Take us home. We have won the first battle. But the war is just beginning. The Soul's Vengeance and the other carriers vanished back into stealth. The wreckage of the Council fleet floated alone in space. And across the galaxy, the Council received the news. Admiral Crixnell's battle group was destroyed. The humans had won, easily, decisively. The Council was no longer laughing. The Council chamber was silent. For the first time in centuries, no one was arguing. No one was shouting. They were all watching the same thing. The footage from Admiral Crixnell's flagship, human fighters moving like nothing they had ever seen. Ships appearing from nowhere, Council vessels exploding one after another. The entire battle was a disaster, a humiliation. High Counselor Vrex then finally found his voice. How? How did this happen? No one answered. No one had an answer. The humans were supposed to be primitives, young, weak, easy to defeat. Instead, they had destroyed the Council's best battle group with barely any losses. A small alien stood up. Representative Suji Huang. She represented 30 minor species. Species that had never been important enough to have much say in Council decisions. I warned you, Suji said quietly. My species warned you. The humans were not presentient. They never were. But you did not listen. You never listened to small voices. Vrex then whirled on her. Do not lecture me. We followed proper procedures. We tested them. They failed our tests. Your tests, Suji said. Tests designed for species like you. Tests that assume everyone thinks like you. Tests that completely ignored how humans actually are. Another counselor spoke up. What do we do now? We cannot let this stand. We must respond with force. More force? Suji laughed bitterly. We just sent a battle group. It was destroyed. How much more force will it take? How many of our people must die because you were too arrogant to admit a mistake? The chamber erupted. Half the counselors agreed with Suji. The other half shouted her down. The council was splitting, fracturing. The unity that had held the Galactic Order together for centuries was breaking apart. While they argued, a human ship approached the council station. It was small, unarmed. It carried a single passenger, Ambassador Jae Hee-yoon. She walked into the council chamber alone. Her footsteps echoed in the sudden silence. She wore a simple gray suit. No weapons, no guards. She did not need them. Vrex then stared at her. "You dare come here? After what your people did? After what we did?" Jaehi stopped in the center of the chamber. "We defended ourselves. You attacked us. We simply responded. You destroyed a council fleet. We destroyed ships that came to attack our home. That is not a crime. That is survival. Something you seem to have forgotten how to do." Jaehi looked around the chamber. "I am here with our terms. The same terms we gave you 30 days ago. You have ignored them. You have attacked us instead. Now the price has gone up." She pressed her wrist device. A hologram appeared above her. It showed 15 different star systems. Council homeworlds, the most powerful species in the galaxy. These are the species most responsible for human suffering, the ones who voted to classify us as pre-sentient, the ones who profited from our exploitation, the ones who raided our colonies. The hologram zoomed in on each system, showing planets, stations, fleets. Our forces are in position at each of these systems. Right now, as we speak, the chamber exploded in panic. Counselors shouted. Some ran for the doors. Others screamed into communication devices trying to warn their homeworlds. Jaehi waited for silence. When it did not come, she simply continued speaking. Her voice was calm, clear. It cut through the chaos. "You can confirm it if you want. Check your sensors. Check your defense networks. You will find human ships waiting, invisible to your sensors until we want you to see them." She was right. As counselors checked with their militaries, the reports came back. Human ships detected at Velcron Prime. Human ships at the Mantid homeworld. Human ships at every major council system. How? How had they gotten past the defenses? How had no one detected them? "Here are our new terms," Jaehi said. "Full recognition of human sentience, effective immediately. Return of all human prisoners and test subjects. Reparations of 10 trillion credits. Prosecution of all individuals involved in human trafficking or experimentation. And most importantly," she paused, "let the silence build. Dissolution of all laws allowing exploitation of pre-sentient species. Complete reform of the Council's classification system. And establishment of a new galactic assembly that includes currently exploited species." "Impossible," Vrex then roared. "You cannot restructure the entire Council. You have no authority. We have ships at your homeworlds. That is all the authority we need." Suji stood up. "The Huaran Collective accepts these terms. We agree to all of them." Vrex then turned to her in shock. "You cannot agree without a council vote." "I can and I do. My species will no longer participate in the exploitation of other sentient beings. We should have stood up years ago. We are standing up now." One by one, other representatives stood. Small species, weak species, species that had been pushed around by the Council for centuries. They all agreed to human terms. Then larger species began to stand. Species that saw which way the wind was blowing. Species that did not want human ships at their homeworlds. Species that decided terms were better than war. Vrex then watched his coalition crumble. Within an hour, 23 species had accepted human terms. The Council was splitting apart. He made a decision. A desperate decision. A stupid decision. "No, I will not allow this. Emergency powers are hereby activated. I am ordering a full military strike on Earth itself. We will end this now. We will show them what happens when you threaten the Council." The chamber went silent. Even his allies looked shocked. A strike on Earth? On a homeworld? That had not been done in centuries. It violated every rule of civilized warfare. Jaehi smiled. It was not a happy smile. "Thank you, High Counselor. You have just made this very easy for us." "What?" "You just ordered an attack on our homeworld. On our civilians. On our families. You have given us every justification we need. We are no longer asking for terms. We are no longer negotiating. We are now at war. Total war." She turned to the other counselors. "Let the record show that the Council, through High Counselor Vrex then, declared war on humanity by ordering a strike on our homeworld. Let the record show that we tried to negotiate. We offered peace. We gave chances. You rejected them all. Now you face the consequences." She pressed her device again. Every screen in the chamber went active. Every personal communicator. Every display. All of them showing the same thing. General Minho Baek, commander of Earth's military. His face was hard. His eyes were steel. Council forces, this is General Bayek. You have 10 minutes to stand down your attack on Earth. 10 minutes to recall your ships. 10 minutes to surrender. If you do not, the screen split, showing 15 different systems. Human ships at each one. Weapons charging. Targeting locks acquired. If you do not, we will consider all Council worlds valid military targets. We will show no mercy. We will accept no surrender. We will fight until you are broken. Until you understand what you have done. Until you beg for peace in 10 minutes. Starting now, the screens went dark. The chamber was chaos. Counselors screamed at Vrex then. They screamed at each other. Some ran. Some tried to contact their militaries. Some just sat in shock. Jae-hee walked toward the exit, calmly, slowly, as if she had all the time in the world. Vrex then called after her. You are bluffing. You cannot attack all of us. You do not have the ships. You do not have the weapons. She stopped, turned back. We destroyed your battle group with stealth carriers you did not know existed. We infiltrated every single one of your systems. We positioned strike forces at your homeworlds without you noticing. We have technology you do not understand, weapons you have never seen, tactics you cannot predict. And you still think we are bluffing? She walked out. The door closed behind her. In the chamber, the countdown continued. 9 minutes. 8 minutes. 7 minutes. Species began breaking ranks. The Huaran Collective formally withdrew from the Council. The Prel Dominion announced neutrality. The Zell Federation pledged support to humanity. The Council was fracturing, breaking apart, and there was nothing Vrexa then could do to stop it. He had made a mistake. A terrible mistake. He had underestimated humanity. He had let pride cloud his judgment. He had ordered an attack that would justify any human response. And now his people would pay the price. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. The countdown continued, and across the galaxy, humanity prepared to show the Council what DEATHWORLDERS truly were. Admiral Sung-Ho Nam stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Station. Below him, Earth turned peacefully. Above him, sensors showed the incoming Council fleet, 2,000 ships, the largest fleet assembled in 800 years. They had come to break humanity, to force surrender, to show the galaxy what happened when you defied the Council. They would learn a different lesson. All stations report ready, his tactical officer said. Moonbase is armed, Mars fleet in position. Belt defense grid activated. Every human ship in the system is ready for combat. Sung-Ho nodded. How long until they arrive? 10 minutes, sir. 10 minutes. Sung-Ho thought about his family on Earth. His children. His grandchildren. They were down there, trusting him to protect them. Trusting him to keep Earth safe. He would not fail them. Sir, we are receiving a transmission from the Council fleet. It is Admiral Crixnell. Sung-Ho raised an eyebrow. Crixnell had survived the first battle. Barely. His ship had been one of the few to escape. Now he was back. Leading an even larger force put him on screen. Crixnell appeared. He looked different. Older. Tired. The confidence was gone from his eyes. Human Admiral, I am here under orders to force your surrender. I bring 2,000 ships, 50,000 fighters, 100,000 soldiers. Surrender now and your planet will be spared. Sung-Ho studied the alien. You do not sound convinced, Admiral Crixnell. You sound like someone following orders they disagree with. Crixnell was silent for a moment. I have fought for 300 cycles. I have won every battle. Until I met you. I lost 200 ships in 6 hours. I watched my fleet torn apart by an enemy I could not see. By tactics I could not predict. By warriors who fought like demons. I do not want to be here. But I follow my orders. So I ask you one more time. Surrender. Please. Sung-Ho almost felt sorry for him. Almost. Admiral, you are attacking our home, our families, our world. Did you think we would just give up? Did you think we would surrender the planet that made us? This is Earth. This is where humanity was born. Where we learned to survive, where we conquered every predator, every disease, every disaster. This planet tried to kill us for millions of years. It failed. What makes you think you will succeed? Crixnell closed his eyes. Then we are both doomed. You cannot win. We outnumber you 10 to 1. Numbers do not matter, Admiral. Not when you are fighting for your home. Not when you are fighting for everything you love. Not when you are DEATHWORLDERS. The screen went dark. Sung-Ho turned to his crew. All stations prepare for combat. Let us show them what Earth can do. The Council fleet dropped out of FTL at the edge of the system, 2,000 ships in perfect formation. It was beautiful, terrifying, overwhelming. And then Earth's moon lit up. Humanity had been preparing the moon for years. They had hollowed it out, filled it with weapons, turned it into the largest fortress in human history. Now those weapons activated, railguns fired, missiles launched, energy weapons blazed. The moon became a star of destruction. Thousands of projectiles streaked toward the Council fleet at incredible speeds. On his flagship, Crixnell watched the sensors in horror. Defensive fire! All ships evasive maneuvers. But the Council fleet was in formation. Tight formation, perfect for parades, terrible for combat. Ships collided trying to evade. Others took hits meant for their neighbors. The first wave of fire destroyed 300 ships. Just like that. 300 vessels gone in the opening seconds. Then the Mars fleet attacked from behind. Then the belt stations opened fire from the sides. Then Earth's orbital platforms joined in. The Council fleet was surrounded, trapped, taking fire from every direction. Crixnell tried to organize a response, but his communications were jammed. His sensors were flooded with false data. His ships were in chaos. Engineer Young J. Lim was doing his work again. Cyber warfare, the invisible battlefield. While the Council focused on the physical fight, Young J was destroying them digitally. Council ships received false orders, fire on their own allies, jump to wrong coordinates, shut down their shields. Their computers betrayed them at every turn. While the main battle raged, Commander Yejino was executing her own mission. Her Special Forces team had infiltrated the Council's command station weeks ago. They had been waiting, patient, invisible. Now they struck. Yejin moved through the station like a ghost. Her team had studied the layout for months. They knew every corridor, every security system, every guard patrol. They reached the main broadcast center without raising an alarm. Yejin planted her device. A small transmitter, undetectable, unstoppable, device planted. Activating now. Across the entire galaxy, every screen activated. Every communication device. Every public display. All of them showing the same thing. The truth. Videos of human colony ships being destroyed. Documents showing Council approval. Financial records proving which species profited. Medical records of humans used as test subjects. Everything. Every citizen of every Council species saw what their leaders had done. Saw the exploitation. Saw the cruelty. Saw the lies. And they were horrified. On the Mantid homeworld, protests erupted. On Velcron Prime, citizens demanded accountability. On world after world, the population turned against their leaders. The Council had ruled through unity. Through the belief that they were civilized, that they were just. That broadcast shattered that belief, showed them what their civilization really was. At Earth, the battle was ending. Of the 2,000 Council ships, fewer than 400 remained. They were scattered, broken, defeated. Crixnell sent a transmission. "We surrender, please, we surrender." Sung-Ho accepted. "All ships cease fire. Secure the Council vessels. Take prisoners. Treat them well. This war is over." His crew cheered. They had won. They had defended Earth. They had beaten the largest fleet in the galaxy. But Sung-Ho did not cheer. He knew this was just the beginning. Winning the war was one thing. Building the peace would be harder. 3 weeks later, President Tae-Young Shin stood before a new assembly. Not the Council. Something better. A true galactic assembly. Every species had a voice. Even the small ones. Even the ones previously classified as pre-sentient. "We did not want this war," Tae-Young said. "We wanted peace. We wanted to join the galactic community as equals. We were denied. We were exploited. We were hunted, so we fought, we won. But we did not come here to conquer. We came here to change things. To make sure no other species suffers what we suffered." She looked around the assembly. "The old Council is dissolved. Its laws are void. We are building something new. Something better. A true union of equals. No species will be classified as presentient without consent. No species will be exploited. No species will be treated as property. These are our new laws. Any government that violates them will answer to all of us." Representative Suji stood up. "The Huaran Collective supports these laws. We should have supported them years ago. One by one, other species stood, agreeing, supporting, building something new. Rex then sat in chains. He had been arrested by his own people, charged with war crimes, with corruption, with exploitation. He would face trial. He would face justice. He looked at Tae-young. You won. But at what cost? How many died? How much was destroyed? Too many, Tae-young said sadly. Far too many. But we did not start this. We tried to avoid it. We gave you chances. You rejected them all. We are DEATHWORLDERS. We know the cost of survival. We paid it for millions of years on Earth. We hoped we would not have to pay it in space. But you forced our hand. She turned away from him. The difference between us and you is simple. We know when to fight and when to stop. We could have destroyed your worlds. We could have killed billions. We chose not to. That is what makes us different. That is what makes us better. 5 years passed. The new Galactic Assembly thrived. Species that were once exploited now had voices. Laws protected everyone. Trade flourished. Peace held. Humanity took its place among the stars. Not as conquerors, not as overlords, but as equals, as partners, as the species that refused to let injustice stand viewing in schools across the galaxy. A lesson, a warning, a reminder. Never underestimate species you do not understand. Never assume young means weak. Never exploit those you think are helpless, because they might be DEATHWORLDERS. And DEATHWORLDERS do not break, they fight back. Admiral Sung-Ho Nam retired to a quiet farm on Earth. He grew vegetables, played with his grandchildren, enjoyed the peace he had fought so hard to win. One day his granddaughter asked him, "Grandfather, were you scared when all those ships came to Earth?" Sung-Ho thought about it. Yes, I was terrified, but I was also proud. Proud of humanity, proud of what we could do when we worked together. Proud that we fought for what was right, not for conquest. The council thought we were primitives. They thought young species could not threaten them. They learned they were wrong, not because we were strong, but because we were united, because we believed in something worth fighting for. What did you believe in? Sung-Ho smiled. Each other. We believed in each other. That is what makes us human. That is what makes us strong. Not our weapons, not our ships, but our ability to stand together when it matters most. Across the galaxy, that message spread. Humanity became known not for their weapons or their victories, but for their principles, for their refusal to accept injustice, for their willingness to fight for others, not just themselves. The Council's emergency broadcast had declared humanity a threat. They were right, but not the threat they imagined. Humanity was a threat to exploitation, to injustice, to the idea that might makes right. They were a threat to everything the old Council represented, and the galaxy was better for it. Years later, a young alien student studied Earth history. She read about the war, about the battles, about the victory. She asked her teacher a question. "Teacher, why do we study human history so much? Why is it so important?" The teacher, an old human named Dr. Haewon Park, smiled. "Because humanity taught the galaxy an important lesson. They showed us that the most dangerous species is not the one that wants to conquer. It is the one that refuses to be conquered, the one that stands up, the one that says no. They showed us that survival is not about being the strongest. It is about being the most adaptable, the most determined, the most willing to do what is necessary. They are DEATHWORLDERS, and they taught us all what that truly means." The student nodded. She understood. The lesson was clear. Never underestimate those who have survived the impossible, because they will show you what impossible really means in humanity. They continued to live among the stars, building, growing, helping others. Always ready to defend the weak. Always willing to stand against tyranny. Always proud of what they were, DEATHWORLDERS.